Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Akil Stokes. For you guys that are new, I'm a former struggling trader turned professional trader. I am also a trading coach and one of the co-founders of Tier1Trading.com, which is one of the most highly respected trading education platforms in the world. Don't just take my word for it. Ask Forbes magazine. Actually, we do a lot more than just teach people how to trade. We teach people how trading works within the bigger realm of financial empowerment, financial independence, and of course, freedom of time. But trading is really the tool that we use to help people get there. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you check out some of the free content we have over on the website. It's www.tier1trading.com/free. I personally recommend checking out the Ascension webinar and also the Trade to Measure workshop. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why you're behind on achieving your goals. And we're going to do so by sharing with you a recent accountability session that we hosted on the site. And this is a really cool episode because it talks about really the need for urgency when it comes to goal completion and how when urgency is there in full force, you typically get things done. You find a way to get things done. And when there isn't that urgency, you become kind of lackadaisical. And that's exactly what this trader was. And what's interesting is that this trader was in the exact opposite situation that I was in when I first embarked on learning how to trade. Right? He's in a situation where he likes his job. He's making good money. So there's really no urgency to really get after it in the way he should when it comes to trading. And that was something that was very similar to me. When I first started trading, I was working 3 jobs, and they weren't ideal jobs. I didn't really like them. I was working in the school district with children that had mental and behavioral health issues. I was coaching track part-time. I did love that job. And I was also working as a janitor on the night shift, cleaning banks and cleaning preschools and dealing with all the lovely presents that preschool kids leave in the bathrooms. Very fun stuff. And I was comfortable because I was making about $30,000 a year, which for someone out of college is more money than I ever saw in my life. My real estate investment business was up and going. It wasn't a business at the time, but I owned a property. It was a duplex, and I was renting out one unit. I was living in another unit with 3 roommates. So rent was, being paid not by me. Basically, everything else covered the mortgage and whatnot. So I was really comfortable. So when it came to trading, I never really had an urgency to get good because if it didn't work, I was already okay. I was making lots of money doing these jobs. I didn't have to pay any mortgage. Things were doing good there. So, what was the big deal? And it didn't come until I started thinking about the future, when I started looking like 5, 10, 15 years ahead to the point I'm at now, where I have a family, I have kids, and $30,000 isn't going to cut it here in the US. And that really scared me. And even though that scared me, I still lacked that push to kind of do the right thing because, again, I was comfortable. A paycheck was coming in. There was no real hardship in life at the time. So what I purposely did, and I don't recommend anybody doing this is probably the stupidest decision I ever made, but typically some of my best results have come off of stupid decisions. I quit my jobs. I quit 2 of my jobs. The other one, my contract expired, so I was still doing it, but I wasn't getting paid. And I decided to go full force into learning how to trade. So what I did was I removed that comfort. I threw myself out of a comfortable position to create that urgency. And knowing myself as an athlete, I'm someone that wants the ball when the game's on the line. I'm someone that does good in pressure situations. I know how I act. So knowing that I put myself in that situation where my back was against the wall, I had to fight my way forward. That's what created the urgency for me to really take my training seriously. And although I still had my bumps in the journey, as you guys know, I wouldn't have been that motivated if it wasn't for that fear of failure, not just at learning how to trade, but failure in not being able to provide for myself and provide for my future family. So urgency is key. If you can take one thing from this interview, and I promise we'll get into it in a little bit, it's that there's always time, right? Let's say this, we can't make time, right? Time is what it is. We get a certain amount of time per day. So you can't really use the excuse that says, I don't have time to do something. You have to create time by sacrificing something else. And typically what you spend time on is going to be something that you're passionate about, something you really want to do, something that you make excuses for is something that you don't want to do. And if trading is something that you're serious about, You can't have excuses where it's like, I don't have time to watch a training course. I don't have time to listen to Jason Greystone's latest podcast. Make time, right? There's always a way to make it, and sometimes it means sacrificing something else on the back end. So check it out. It's an awesome interview. As always, make sure you like and review this podcast on iTunes. Also share this on social media. And if you're part of the Facebook group, right, the Trading Coach Podcast Facebook group, type in some comments below this episode and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments on really how you go about creating urgency and how you really went about motivating yourself to get stuff done.
So my name is Andrew. Originally I come from Poland. I'm 29, and for the past 4 years I've been living in Dublin, Ireland. We're just working here and really enjoying my time. And this is my second accountability session. Last time I was here in the beginning of July, 3 months ago.
Yeah, and tell us, well, before you start, are you coming to the trading event in Dublin?
Oh yes, I am. I signed up for it. I will be there. I will be there with one of my friends as well.
Brilliant. Okay. So before we just get really stuck in, just bring us up to speed on where you were on the last accountability session and what your plans were to come forward.
Sure. Yes. So that was 3 months ago. Back then, I was in the middle of Foundation 1.0. And my goal was to finish it in the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep. And did you?
No, no, I didn't. That took me longer. That took me longer than I thought.
Okay.
So I canceled that accountability session that I was supposed to have, so I don't waste everyone's time. And I made a couple of changes in my lifestyle so that I have more time. And here I'm ready to come again.
Excellent. So tell us, you didn't get through the Foundation 1.0. I'm interested to hear why. Not in a, not that I think you should have, but I just want to understand what you realized, why that was not achieved. Why
sure.
Didn't you finish what you thought you would finish?
So I think part of the problem is that I'm taking really a lot of time to go through the videos. So I watch every video at least twice, and I take detailed notes from every single video, including screenshots. So it really takes me a long time. Like it's not uncommon that a 10 minutes video will take me 1 to 2 hours just to consume the information and take down the notes. So that was part of the problem. But part of the problem was probably as well the motivation, just not being able to stick to it,
Yeah. So what I always, funnily enough, the podcast that's coming out today talks about motivation, talks about the difference between motivation and values. So I would say that if we're not motivated to do something, it's not really on our highest agenda. It's not at the top of our priority list. So have you had other stuff going on that you that's distracted or?
Yeah, so I think it's what you say is really very true, because like when you have a job that you are happy with, that you really enjoy, like you don't have that big drive to
no
change.
Urgency, is there?
There's no urgency, exactly. So honestly, the urgency for me now is that I'm wasting time, I'm wasting money, so I just want to get this done. That's the biggest urgency for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because motivation, I spoke in the podcast earlier about, people who are really unfit, they've got kind of smoking, drinking, bad eating habits, and they just keep doing it, and no matter how much you tell them not to, they keep doing it until they have a heart attack, and then all of a sudden they completely turn their health around. They stop drinking, they stop smoking, and the motivation was always there. It's just it wasn't high on the values, and it's just kind of that urgency. It hasn't got that urgency. So you're dead right. But the problem with that is you can get down the road, and then you realize that, like you just said, now you're wasting, like you're spending money, and you're kind of then it becomes urgent, but then you've kind of trying to rush it again, which defeats the object of having all that time in the first place. So it's a bit of a pain, isn't it, really?
It is exactly. It's like when you are quite happy with your life, when you are quite like comfortable, then you don't feel like you have to do it. So you really have to push yourself for doing the courses. And I don't want to rush it. I'm really taking the time as well. So it's really, that's why that took me a long time to go through the foundation course.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the plan now then? What are you going to do to make that different?
Yeah, so I made a couple of changes already in my lifestyle. I broke up with my girlfriend, so I have more time. well,
I don't know if I should laugh with you or laugh nervously.
Well, okay, okay, it wasn't the reason, okay? That wasn't the only reason, but it worked anyway. So,
Tier 1 trading, breaking up relationships.
Well, whatever works, right? It worked anyway. So I actually have more time doing that now. So I was able to put probably double of the hours into training as I did before. So since 3 months ago, I finished the Foundation 1.0. Just when I finished it, the Foundation 2.0 came out. So I thought that I might as well jump straight into it. And I finished that as well. So the foundations are done, and I started a week ago. I started the mastery course, and I've done the Fibonacci basics and inversion, and the next one on the line is the advanced patterns. So cipher, butterfly, and Gartley. That's the one I'll be learning next, and I'm actually very excited for it because I hear about them all the time on the live trading rooms. And I have no idea what they are talking about, so I'm excited to learn it finally.
Excellent. Okay. So you're really going to get stuck in now. The Foundation 2.0 is brilliant.
It is indeed, yes.
Once you start applying all that and you start practicing, looking at the charts and really kind of taking note of all that stuff, that's going to transform. So I think you'll get a lot of motivation come through from the progress and the light bulb moments that you're about to have over the next 4 weeks or 6 weeks or however long you've set aside to do this. So the live rooms are definitely great for that as well. They can really accelerate your repetition, so that's good. So will you be in the London live room or the New York live room, or are you going to be attending both or some?
I try to attend both. But the thing is, I work full time, so you might see my name on the list on the chat during the live rooms. But for the most part, unfortunately, I'm not listening. I'm not able to do both at the same time. While I'm working, I'm not able to focus well on the live room, so that's the only problem. But if there's a quiet day, then I am able to log into both London and New York and listen to you both.
Excellent. Okay. So I look forward to seeing the live room. Obviously, I'll be in talks with you in the live room, and I'll be seeing how you are in there as well. But it'd be good just to come on in maybe towards the end of the year, or just getting on for the end of the year. So just make sure that you are making progress.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Okay, mate.
And
Is
I
there
will also
anything else
see
you want to say?
I just want to say that I will also like just taking notes is very useful. I just find that even now when I'm doing the mastery, I'm just coming back to the notes I already took on the Foundation 1.0. So I'm really grateful for that piece of advice. So taking notes helps. So
brilliant.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Okay, well,
I will see you on the Dublin event on the 26th.
Yeah, I'll see you in Dublin in a couple of weeks. Brilliant.
Right. Let's grab a pint of Guinness then.
Have a great weekend.